Alright guys, so this week we're going to discuss the differences between a solvent-based conversion varnish and the CIC water-based conversion varnish. Let's do it. I'm going to talk about just my experience shooting the solvent base. It was super easy to shoot. The only issue I had with it was it says to add 6 ounces to a gallon. I ended up having to add 10, and it was a much slower dry time than I'm used to because I shoot a lot of water base. So it took about 30 to 45 minutes to be kind of tack free, and then another 15 to 20 minutes before I could sand it. So you're looking at about an hour to 15 to 20 minutes before you could really sand it in my climate. Okay, it may be different somewhere else, like humidity and all those things kind of play a role in it. So it was a little bit longer for me. I kept thinking that I didn't add enough catalyst, and I didn't have it right. All right, now the water base, on the other hand, I have tons of experience with this. I've been shooting this for like 5 years, so it's like I can close my eyes and shoot this stuff. On the first coat, it'll dry in about 15 to 20 minutes. You can sand it. On your subsequent coats, as you build it up, the tech sheets say that it's like 20 to 30 minutes. I usually find that I'm like about 45 minutes. That's just where I like to be. It's good and dry, and I can sand it pretty quick. So I will say that the water base is a lot faster than the solvent base. Now the solvent base has 40% solids, and the water base it's like 30. So you're getting a lot higher build with this. Okay, so these are the products we're going to be testing to see how they react. And the reason I'm using this butyl Cellusolve is a couple years ago I did a test similar to this, and a guy said, well, it wasn't fair because you didn't use a chemical that will eat a water base. Okay, so we got butyl Cellusolve, which is known to eat water-based finishes very well. Now, one of the ones that you may find very interesting that I have here is a pod from dishwashers. I don't know what's in these things, but man, they will friggin' eat a finish. So I've mixed them up in some water, and I'm going to drop it on here. I think you're going to be surprised to see what happens on this. Now we're going with a straight acetone to simulate fingernail polish. Now I will go ahead and tell you that both of these will resist the fingernail polish, so we're just going kind of the extreme. And we're going lacquer thinner and denatured alcohol. Now this would simulate, well, more than 100 proof alcohol. So we're just really going extremes here. All right, sort of our criteria here to judge these is, did it gloss the finish it? Did it cut through the finish or damage the finish? Or did it leave a mark or a stain that cannot be removed? Okay, and we're just going to compare the two like that. Now I'm going to give these each 10 rubs with each one of these solvents, and then I'll try to get the light right so that you can look at it. All right, so let's start off with the lacquer thinner on the water base. Now 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're just going to let that flash for a second. Okay, on the lacquer thinner, all right, you can see that it kind of cut a little bit through the top coat just slightly, but didn't go all the way through the finish. All right, so that's the lacquer thinner on the water base. All right, let's look at lacquer thinner on the solvent base. So you think I'm not cheating, that is lacquer thinner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, on the solvent finish, I would say that it glossed it and that it cut through the top coat just a little bit right there. So a little bit better resistance on the lacquer thinner, but that's actually pretty close. Let's go to denatured alcohol on the water base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, the denatured alcohol, sort of the same thing. All right, so it kind of, I mean, it didn't cut through the finish, kind of maybe glossed the outside, and where I rubbed kind of maybe cut through the first layer on the denatured alcohol. All right, so let's look at the denatured alcohol on the solvent base side. Make sure that I get an equal wetness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, the denatured alcohol. Alright, so I would say on that one, it maybe left a little ring of an outline, and then there was one little spot right there that it kind of cut through the finish. Just a little bit, that top coat. Alright, so denatured alcohol. Next one is acetone. 7, 8, 9, 10. This will flash a lot faster. Acetone, maybe a little bit right in here you can see, and it, you know, it affects the surface a little bit, but not much, but you can see just a little bit of rub through there. So very good on acetone. All right, let's look at the acetone on the water base conversion varnish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to see exactly the same thing. All right, so on the acetone, that's what we're getting on the water base. Okay, so water base, so the lacquer thinner, denatured alcohol, and the acetone. Look at the butyl cellulose, which I don't know why anybody would have this in their house, but nevertheless, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so the butyl cellulose tore it up pretty good, if you can see there. It's actually kind of sticky. Alright, now on the solvent base, let's look at it there. Alright, so the cellulose, it dulled the finish pretty significantly on that. It didn't cut through it or make it sticky, but it did kind of cut through the, you know, you can see I've got such a smaller spot, but it's not near as bad as the water base, but it did cause an issue there. Okay, now the next thing we're going to look at is one of these. Now I have to let this set on there for an hour before you'll see anything. So basically what I found with this particular product is if this blue side or green side bursts on a finish, it will actually like stick to it, and when you try to wipe it off, it actually wipes the finish off. So I just want to show you kind of what it does to each one of these so you can get an idea. So this is the water base with the Tide pods thing on it. Now you can see sort of the outline of it. It kind of puffed it up a little bit. It's really hard to see, so you know, would you really see that? Only if the light was right. Alright, on the conversion varnish, you can see the stain that it left there. It's sort of a similar deal. So let's talk about the final thoughts on these. So there's your denatured alcohol. This is your solvent base. This is your water base. Alright. Okay, so obviously the solvent base won out there. The lacquer thinner, it's a little bit closer on that one. I still think the solvent base edges it out just a little bit. And your acetone, I definitely think the solvent base wins there. And then the cellulose, I think your solvent base wins out there. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on this experiment? I think the solvent base is the clear winner when you're talking about chemical resistance. The water base is the winner in terms of production value and speed. As far as the feel and look, they're absolutely identical. I might give the edge slightly to the solvent base, maybe a little bit softer feel, but it's not much at all. So I'm going to let you all make your decision on this. I don't want to tip the scales either way, but I will say that I think that this company did a great a great job in taking water base and taking a conversion varnish and making them as close to possible as you actually could get them. All right, so I think that in this case, what you're seeing on the conversion varnish label is probably a good label. All right, so thanks for watching. The next one we're gonna do is I've shot some panels with the Malaysia 2K, and I'm gonna talk about it independently. And then I've also got some product coming in from Greg Saunders at NX Paint from the water-based 2K, and we're going to put the Malaysia versus the Centurion in that one. That's it for this week. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.